Hello, my first annual report done on YouTube. And of course, the folks may want to create one written one for some of my congregations. My friend Sandra sent me an email reminding me that reports were coming in. And I sent back saying, well, I talked to some of the people in the regional church, and really all they're interested in is in statistics. But that'll be for 2020, and 2020 has sort of been a loss. So I'm supposed to do the report for 2019. And those were the days when everything was normal in Trentham and Overton, South Durham, St. George's Anglican in Drummondville, and the folks up in Danville. Well, we were all doing what we always do: worship, saying thank you to God, picnics, baptisms, singing, social activities, potlucks, talent shows in South Durham, Thanksgiving in Overton. It was a blessed time, and it seems so long ago. And my friend Shannon Brock suggested that I do Easter service in 2020 online. And so now I'm a YouTube person, a dinosaur trying to do things in a modern way. But we're all learning, us old dogs, we're all learning new tricks. And it's amazing what we're up to. So in my annual report, I usually send out pretty well the same thing every year. This will be different. It'll be different because I'm kind of going to do the annual report for all the little communities I serve. And the first thing I need to say is bravo. You always do a wonderful job, especially the roots of the church. If you've seen my last sermon, you know what that means. The roots of the church, the women of the church, do so much to make it all come together. And so I thank you for all of your work. Dear Joyce, who was trying to work for the UCW and prepare our 180th anniversary this year, 2020, which will likely be like the Olympics, postponed at least, I hope. But all the people who do all this work, Sandra, who reminded me always of reports, she's good at reminding me of things, and Shannon, who taught me to do new things, and the folks, my dear friend Ronnie, who writes poetry and sends it over on his Facebook, and Catherine, who's on Facebook and keeps me up to date with what's going on in the Anglican Church in Drummondville, and of course my wonderful friend and where I live in Overton with Gwyn, and I hope Andrew and all my people in Overton are doing well, and Sandra, of course, in South Durham, who managed to still do a tent service this year, and that wonderful tent service where we have all that wonderful food out in the country under a tent. You do absolutely amazing things. And although pride is supposedly a sin, I'm extremely proud of you all, okay? We need to thank some other people in our community in the area. The Wales Home, for doing such an incredible job to keep our seniors safe. They took action so much earlier than the government. And I know so many of you are longing to get back to your volunteer positions. And I know so many of you who have and continue to keep in contact with the people of the Wales Homes. So bravo for a job well done. From my friends in the Anglican Church out in Drummondville, they're building a new English school there. So there is some hope for the future, and Catherine has been good to keep me up to date. I always get information about the beautiful life on the farm in Overton and look forward to doing a potluck and Thanksgiving supper someday soon. I was hopeful to get out there this year and paint. It needs painting badly. For all the church treasurers who do the jobs that nobody really wants but keep track of all the money. Oh, and by the way, if you have any extra, we haven't been able to do all the wonderful fundraisers that we do and continuously do during the years. The talent shows, the auctions, the church suppers. I had hoped in 2020 I would get to do the old church supper with some friends in Danville, but never got there. Got stuck for 4 months in Turkey, and now I'm back in Egypt. So there's all sorts of imaginative things. Oh, another thing I meant to mention, there's been people pass away and families that have had great losses during the last year. We've celebrated baptisms, but we've also celebrated people's lives. But we need to celebrate during this pandemic the funeral homes that have been so key to doing services. Many services have been done by volunteers in our local communities. All the people who take care and volunteer for taking care of the cemeteries, I counted them. I have 5 cemeteries. And you guys keep on doing that work. It's not always necessary to have the minister dressed up in his regalia. There's individuals who have stepped in and done some wonderful work during the pandemic and during 2019. We forget all the folks who do the basic jobs and who never get credit. And that, of course, includes the church treasurers. Thank you for all that you do. I know I'm likely leaving people out. I always tend to. That's why when I write my annual report, it's pretty well always the same. And I don't thank enough people that I should. Tracy, for example, who's done the Christmas services and who does lay work in Danville and other places. People who sing in choirs that can't sing anymore because it spreads the virus, for those who keep everybody in their prayers, for the random acts of kindness that you all do. I am thankful, and we are all blessed by your service. Keep up the good work. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Keep 6 feet apart, but never keep apart from God who gives us the blessing of the day. Wake up. Be born again every morning when you wake up. Be patient. Don't get depressed. Things will get better. And we will do the new things that we have learned, and we will go back to the traditional things that we love. Bless you all. Know this, you are not alone. Thanks be to God. Amen.